And now we want to get back to that other top story that we've been telling you about. It was first breaking on 12 News at 10 and 11 last night. That fatal officer-involved shooting out of Woonsocket. We now know the suspect's name is Russell Default, a 58-year-old from Portsmouth. He was shot and killed after injuring at least 2 members of the Rhode Island Violent Fugitive Task Force last night. Joining me now, Target 12 investigator Tim White. Tim, this task force usually flies under the radar.
Yeah, Kim, they really do. I would even use the term secretive on that one. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with members of the Violent Fugitive Task Force. Their location is actually off-site. It is run by the state police and the U.S. Marshal Service, but they're in an undisclosed location within Rhode Island in a nondescript area, I will just describe it as. And this is a group of law enforcement officials, as I said, made up of state police, U.S. Marshals, and then other cities and towns also provide officers from their departments with certain expertise that work in this unit. It's a couple of dozen men and women. Cranston Police certainly do. Providence Police obviously have some members on there. And their whole job is to go out and get bad guys, particularly bad guys that have active arrest warrants out on them. And there are a lot. Our colleague Chelsea Jones reported last week that there are 18,000 active arrest warrants in the state of Rhode Island for 10,000 cases. That does not necessarily mean there are 18,000 people. Those are multiple arrest warrants for sometimes for the same person, but they are obviously someone that is, they're used in the capacity like they were used in the incident last night, where there might not have been an active arrest warrant, but police knew there was a violent act that may have taken place, in this case, as you said, down in Little Compton, and they activated the Violent Fugitive Task Force to go and apprehend this person. We know that the deceased has a criminal record and may have spent some time in jail. And my guess is that's why he was on the radar for the Violent Fugitive Task Force.
So typically when there is an officer-involved shooting, those officers are put on administrative leave. Yes. I believe our colleague Chelsea Jones mentioned that 2 state police officers or members of this task force are on administrative leave right now. So talk us through where the investigation goes from here.
Right. Well, so as it's common, the Attorney General's office investigates these officer-involved shootings, or in this case, when an officer shoots and kills someone. And normally the state police as well investigate this. But we have some state troopers that are involved in this case. It'll be interesting to see. I imagine the Attorney General's office is going to take a larger role in this, but most importantly, all of these investigations go to a grand jury, and a grand jury reviews any fatal police shooting that takes place. So we shouldn't expect a result on this anytime soon. This is going to be a lengthy investigation. They're going to scrutinize the actions of the troopers and, of course, the actions of Russell Default and what he did in that case. And yes, normally they are placed on administrative leave, and that will be the case here. But as you may recall, the Denison Street shooting that we had in Providence a couple of months ago, there were so many Providence police officers that were involved in that. They certainly could not put all of them on administrative leave.
That was an unusual circumstance.
It really was, yeah.
And as you mentioned, the state police are often tasked with investigating these officer-involved shootings, or that type of situation, a use of force case. When was the last time that state police were actually involved in one of these themselves?
Well, use of force cases are obviously very common in law enforcement. There were more than, my colleague Eli Sherman and I did a report a couple of years ago on use of force cases in Providence. There were more than 900 in the calendar year 2020. Use of force means a lot of different things. Obviously, doesn't always mean a shooting. But the case that popped to my head, Kim, when you were asking that question, was that very dramatic highway shooting that happened next to the Providence Place Mall, to the on-ramp of 95 North. I'm sure our viewers remember that very well. It was dramatic. Providence Police, state police were involved in that one primarily. There were so many bullets that were shot into the car initially, and it killed a Joseph Santos. It was unclear which law enforcement agency took part in that. After they did ballistics testing on the bullets in that case, they found it was the Rhode Island State Trooper that had fired the fatal shot. So to my memory, that was 2017. We're going back about 5 years ago. That was the last time a Rhode Island State Trooper was involved in a fatal shooting.
I certainly remember that case well. We were on the highway for a long time that day. All right, Target 12 investigator Tim White, thanks so much.
You bet.